All right.
Well, this
Yeah. Hey there, beer viewers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101, Beer Bring Your Own Beer edition this Wednesday night in our quarantine lives. We've actually got more than just a full panel tonight. We've got an over full panel because we have 7 people here tonight, the geese in the background. So I'll introduce them one by one here in a second, but tonight's Beer Analysis 101 is for sour beers. So we all brought a sour with us. Be that like a Berliner Weiss, an old Bruin, Flanders, whatever sour you wanted to bring. So without further ado, let's get down to who we have with us, and that's starting with Mr. Off the 10th. How you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Oh.
Yes, I did. I'm here. Not a big fan of sours, but today we're going to do one that I recently watched a review that somebody else did a long time ago. I was like, oh, I still have that beer in the fridge, so I decided to join tonight, and thank you very much for hosting, and you're the best, Macwell.
Right. And what did you bring tonight for a beer?
Oh, you want to know now what I brought?
Yeah.
I brought the Rodenbach.
Oh, Caractère Rouge.
This is the Caractère Rouge Red Ale.
Nice.
Lots of fruit in this one. Joe loved this one. I watched his review of this one recently, and I was like, oh, I still have this. So
yeah, I remember last year he was pining over.
Pop the cork later.
Last year, Joe talking about back when he was still alive, God rest his soul, talking about that beer and how he was jealous that you guys in Ontario could get that. I'm kind of jealous because I never got one of those.
And it was only like under $9.
Nice.
And over there in the States, it's like $15 a bottle.
Jesus.
So that's
and
why
then
Joe,
you got to factor
in. He bought 4 of them when he bought them when he was here picking them up.
Him and his American money, that probably really just cost him $20.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like $6 American.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to Mr. Greg.
Oh, I also didn't see you there.
Yeah,
see what I did there? I'm clever. So I'm also not a fan of sours. However, I got this one. This was not planned, but I got this one and I said, yeah, this is definitely the sour for me. So this is from our good friends at Rodenbach, which a brewery I never even heard of until a week and a half ago. And then now I've put my second order into them, and this is Hedonism Raspberry Sour.
It's not Rodenbach, it's Rorschach or something.
Rorschach.
Oh, yeah,
Rorschach. He called him Rodenbach.
Yeah. Well, that's why I never heard of them. I didn't know their fucking name until right now. It's Rorschach. Yes, you are right. It is a Rorschach.
So it's a Rorschach what?
I'm an idiot. Yes, it's their raspberry sour. And I actually bought 2 more variants of this. I put in an order for stouts yesterday, and they had 2 more variants of this. So I've also got a passion fruit and a mango. So I might try them to compare, but this one is the first in the fridge.
Cuvée.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And you know what? It's the perfect name for a beer.
That's what I figured.
All right, let's go over to Ashley and see what he brought. What did you bring for a sour, Ash? And how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you. I am still fever-free.
Ah.
And today I bought a big old Crowler. This is a blood orange sour by the King Kettle. And,
very nice.
Yeah, 3.5%.
Nice.
Pretty proper for the style. I got a liter of it, so I'm going to drink it to my face.
Oh, shit.
Stick to your face.
Right to my face.
It's all about that face. All right, so let's move over to Mr. Craig of Kent Beer Reviews all the way over in the UK. How are you feeling? Are you healthy? And what did you bring tonight?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks for having me. I've got a beer from Overworks, which is part of Brewdog.
Okay.
This arm of the brewery's been going, what, about a year and a half, something like that. They've got up to 82 beers now they've brewed. They generally kind of go into like mixed firm and all that sort of thing, wild ales and that sort of stuff. So I've had a few of them in the past, but I've not had this one before. But yeah, it's Cosmic Crush Raspberry Sour, and it's been aged in red wine barrels. I don't know for how long. So
see, that would make it even more interesting, I'd find.
Yeah, so it's a 4.5 and a 330ml bottle. So
yeah, nice.
Yep. Cheers.
All right. Thanks, Craig. Let's go over to Calgary, Alberta, where we've got Mr. West Coast me.
You
Dan
can't
of
see
Booze
me.
Reviews. Yeah, right. No, get feedback. I hear feedback to the microphone when you're talking.
Oh, really?
No, I'm kidding. That would mean both of us talking at the same time.
Because I'm hearing an echo going on in mine, but I think I left one of the videos that I was watching on my other room, so I got to go shut that off in a second.
Nice.
Anyways, what I've got today is I've stolen something from one of the guys that I was going to send to, but they're not going to get it now. I've got Twin Sales Mixed Berry Sour, The Shine.
The Shine.
And,
It's called The Shining.
It comes in at a very formidable 4.9%. And it's got blackberry puree, blueberry puree, raspberry puree, and it is going to look gorgeous when I pour this.
Ooh, it sounds good. All right, and moving right along, of course, we've got hiding in the background. We've got Key. First of all, yeah, how are you doing tonight? And what'd you bring?
I bought a stupid sour beer. That's what I did.
Stupid.
Sorry.
CBO. The only one they had there. Nickelbrook Zap Sour IPA.
Zap Sour IPA. Hey, it's applicable. I wonder if I don't think that. I think that's new, isn't it?
First time I see it. It doesn't say any style or anything.
It's new-ish. It's within the last year that they went to full production with that, if I'm not mistaken.
To me.
Yeah. I don't think it was there when I was there.
Oh, packaged on 21st of November 2019.
Okay, so it's at least 4 months old, 5 months old.
That's all I know.
Oh. All right, let's go back over to moi. And what am I drinking tonight? I brought myself a Lindemans Creek, one of the original sours, a lambic from the Lambic region of Belgium. So where does it say exactly what the town name is? Lambic or something?
Lambic.
Vlezenbeek.
Yeah.
It literally says Vlezenbeek or Linux. I don't know. I'm just bastardizing these stupid Belgian words. Walloon words or whatever. All right. So without further ado, let's cycle back through everybody. We don't have any comments right now, so we just have Chris saying, hello, viewers. We do read our comments on this channel, contrary to popular belief. But we got 3 viewers right now, so if you guys want to drop us a line or comment or tell us what you're drinking, go right ahead. All right, over to Chris.
We're going to pop this cork. Gage. I've never had this beer. Don't explode, don't explode, don't explode. Okay.
Nice.
I've never had this, so I'm excited to try this one. So why are we cycling through me now? What are we doing?
You were going to talk about the history of this beer, and I guess you don't really have much history.
I don't have much history on this one, but I do want to try this a while ago. I've had this in my fridge for a while. When Joe bought his, I bought mine a couple weeks after, and it's been in my fridge for that long, and I thought, oh, this is going to be bad now, but as I'm smelling it, no, it's fine. And good carbonation still on it. I mean,
that'll age for years.
Yeah, that'll age for a long time.
Yeah, it's only 7% alcohol by volume, so I don't know how long that'll age. But
gosh, Jesus.
But anyway, cycle through.
I'm all right.
That's my history.
I'm all right. Just give me a second here.
Just pop my eye. Nothing major.
All right. Let's go back over to exactly. Greg.
Oh my God.
What's the history with the beer you just bought? And I think you actually just described that, but why'd you buy it?
I love StreamYard because I could not hear a word Chris said. It just completely mutes him for me. Isn't that great? So I'm actually now pouring my second one, the passion fruit. We'll cuvee them at the end.
So you drinking them all, Greg?
Mm-hmm. I'm sampling, Nick. It's classy.
Okay.
This isn't two fisting. I'm classy.
Jesus, Greg.
Samples.
All right. So why did you pick the hedonism, other than the fact it's a beer to describe you?
There's really nothing exciting to the story. I just heard of this brewery. They had free delivery. They had some beers I was interested. Mainly, they've got an imperial stout, which is quite tasty. And I just was like, okay, I want to get this stout. I need a $50 minimum order. Let's order a can of everything they had. This was just I didn't even know it was a stout till I got it. And then I saw, hey, hedonism. We're doing stouts next week. I'm a hedonist, so why not? And I will tell you, between the raspberry and the passion fruit is better.
Nice.
But they're both actually quite good for sours. And I'm going to crack open the mango in a second. But for sours, they're incredibly well balanced. They're really only a tiny bit tart, and they're actually really good fruit beers. So I'm very impressed with the two of them so far. And I have no history with them, and up until about a week and a half ago, I have no history with the brewery.
All right. So let's go back, keep cycling through, and go over to Mr. Flavor Notes. And with the beer that you brought, what was just your history with this one? Why'd you bring it?
This one, I've never had this one before. I'm actually not even too sure if this is a one-off for them or not, or if this is one that they've done before. It's the first time I've seen it. So I've been ordering from the Cayman Kettle not ordering, I've been buying their beers for years now. And actually over the last few weeks since I've been under quarantine, I've been placing a small weekly order through them to pick up on Saturdays. And this came up on their online shopping cart or page, whatever, their website. And so decided to grab a growler of it. And in the past, they typically they don't do a lot of sours per se, but I've always been fairly happy with the ones I've had from them in the past. They do a pretty nice dry hop sour in the past. But other than that, this is the first time I've had this. So I don't even think they have it on Untapped. I think it's I wasn't able to see it, so maybe a one and done.
Cool story.
That's all I got.
Alrighty. All right, so let's go over to Craig, and he'll tell us about the history of this beer. Obviously, that sounds like some kind of one-off, but what'd you pick that one out for?
This is actually not a one-off. This is available in the UK, well, one of the UK supermarkets over here, which is bizarre. That's the level of this sort of beer now in the UK in the supermarkets is just gone crazy. Not just sours, but just general. All right, brewed for supermarkets, but they're of a half decent standard. This is one of 9 in the Cosmic Crush series. As I said, they've done about 80 odd different beers, but this series is 9. I'll go through them, but I'm not going to bother. So yeah, I've had 3 other beers from this kind of fermenting kind of arm of BrewDog, if you like. I was trying to find out how long it was aged in red wine barrels for this Cosmic Crush raspberry. It doesn't really say. But the whole range is a 100% mixed cultured Scottish sour ale. And yeah, it's poured out. Well, I'll probably poured it all out, but give it another swirl. It doesn't really produce crazy amounts of head on this beer, but I mean, it's actually clouded up as well, being the bottom of the bottle. It's a bit more kind of, it looks quite cranberry on screen. It's actually a bit darker this side, which is the light where the lights. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm just trying to get some wine notes, but we'll come back and hopefully I can get a few bits and bats.
All right. Let's go over to Dan and the beer that you got. I know you really like Twin Sails, so why don't you tell us a bit about your little history with this thing?
Well, as you know, I am a Twin Sails fanatic. It's not a fan anymore; it's a fanatic. This one I've never really liked. As everyone, a lot of people here, they're not big sour fans. I'm kind of the same way. But the color of this one actually appealed to me, and I had to buy it. Now, the reason for that is because that's the color of it.
Looks like beet juice.
It looks like beet juice. It really does, or it looks like a blackberry juice. And the camera that they used and took a shot of it, I was like, yeah, I have to have this. I don't care what the hell it is. Found out it was a sour. I'm like, oh, son of a. But I tried it, and it was really quite nice. So when I went over to Vancouver, I actually got this the day they released it. So this is just over a month old, because they released it March 14th. and I got it that day. And I was having had Twin Sail stuff before. They do some amazing work, and I've had one of their sours before, so I thought I'd give it one more shot. And yeah, it was one of the. I think it was the color that attracted me the most, because I do like the color of that. So
There you go.
Oh yeah. Nice. All right. So speaking of attractive colors, let's go over to Guy and ask him. Probably don't really need to give a whole lot of history on this beer, considering this is the first time you've had it.
I remember it was 2 hours ago.
And it was the only
ever got.
best head I ever got. And of course, it was the only.
I can pour it though. That I can do. Let's see what color that is.
You
I'm sure it's
pour it, yeah.
freaking IPA.
Okay, we'll watch it pour it. That'll be your history.
Two whistles.
We have 5 viewers right now.
Must is that my fault?
Such entertaining content.
Or is it the beer's fault?
It's both.
Jesus.
Holy shit!
Looks like milk. Oh, there's
Wow. You have a little bit of beer down there.
Great porky.
That looks like a lemon meringue pie right there.
That's awesome.
no wonder you don't like sours.
Funny.
That smells zesty. That smells pretty damn good. Lemons and pine. Oh, holy shit! Like mango and pineapple and everything. Jesus, that smells fucking delicious. Gotta wait another hour to head go down.
That's what she said.
Put your finger in it.
My peanuts?
Stick a finger in the bum. That'll make your head go down quick. Anyway, well, I mean, I guess it depends what you're into.
5 peanuts. I can taste the sourness already.
Oh, God. All right. So let's go over to mine. And a sec here. I'm going to cycle back over to me. There's so many people here that I have to keep cycling through. My bottle of Lindemans Creek. I've had the Lindemans Creek at least once before. I mean, I like Lindemans. I've had a number of their beers over the years. The one I liked the most before this one was the Framboise, which I've had a few times over the course of the several years. I think way back in 2012 was the first time I'd ever had a beer from this brewery with Heisselmighty. I brought an old goose. And I remember, and this one does it too, but it has like the crown cap on it, and then a stupid cork in the middle that you have to pull the cork out after you've removed this larger than your standard bottle opener cap. So it's a pain in the ass to open. Might be easier in Belgium. But I bought this particular bottle of it at the Moncton A&BL Experience store back when I could still go outside. And I forget how much this was. It was like $12, $13 or something. But for only a 375 ml bottle. But I love Creeks, so I wanted to try a big bottle of this, and it was very. I don't know. Well, I don't want to get too many spoilers on whether I think it's a good choice or not, but it probably is. But that's pretty much my history with it. I had it once before. And I think I had it once before around Christmas time because I had an old bottle of it that I'd opened. That's entertainment for you folks. All right, so let's get back over to the panel. We'll talk amongst ourselves. I'm going to take myself out for a second so Guy can come in, and then we'll come back with our flavor notes.
Ooh.
Man, I'm so glad Nick is gone. The warden has left the prison.
All right, party time.
Who the fuck was that guy?
Party time!
Jesus. Tell you, he makes us drink these goddamn sours. I tell you,
Where'd he go?
Hey, I'm actually not disappointed. I'm very impressed with these.
I'm gonna write down some notes on this beer because, yeah, why not?
Why not? Yep. Because you can.
So, I'm usually like half of the year I'm not a big sour fan. But now that we've started spring, if we're going to call it that in Ontario, I'm back on the sours.
Yeah. It snowed 4 times today.
Shut your face!
I've got
It's been snowing all week.
I've got a load of sours from last summer. So,
Oh yeah,
I wrote some notes down.
So
This is great.
great.
cool. It's a good beer.
Well,
We have
I'll talk about it after. Go ahead.
The Cuvée is good as well. If you see that around, that's
Well, from the
Got a
Rodenbach series.
cuvee everything.
or the Grand Cru is probably my favourite.
We actually see that quite a bit over here. The Grand
Do we?
Cru is ridiculously cheap for us.
Yeah,
It's
that's my favourite.
Is it? How much would you pay for like a regular 330 ml bottle of that?
450, 5.
450. I know we're cheaper than that in Canadian dollars. I just don't know by how much.
Who is screaming in the background?
That's my kids.
Oh,
It's not mine.
Oh, it's your kid. Oh, I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm surprised you can be there a floor above me.
geez, you tell them to behave themselves. They are being disturbing to Daddy.
Get the broomstick out and start pounding the ceiling already.
They just want to compete with
Pounds of
Arnold,
sick.
but Arnold's behaving, so.
Yeah.
No, Arnold is locked in my wife's room right now. He's causing trouble too.
It's not there.
Don't worry, he'll be
Wow,
around.
335.
My deal with my wife
335 Canadian.
only occurs on
For the
beer
Grand
analysis.
That's sour. I can feel it in my chest now.
I mean, I think that's all you need is a 375.
Of that,
That's just
yeah.
you. If you got a Sharon bottle like Chris, then I'd struggle. Even though it's a good beer,
Sharing
but that
bottle.
Crowley you got,
Hell no.
I would struggle.
Oh,
to
that
eat
Crowler, that
sour.
Ash,
Oh,
has,
this?
yeah, that 1 liter, yeah.
Oh yeah, don't
Oh,
worry about.
sure.
I'm going to talk about it, but yeah, if this was the Rodenbach Grand Cru, even those small bottles, I share that with Amy. Even like the whole bottle, it's
Right.
like, yeah, Rodenbach's at that edge where it's like really, it's like,
Yeah, if you're on the acid reflux kind of thing, then you ain't
It's
gonna
not-
help yourself there.
yeah, you're not helping yourself. But with a lot of the beers, regardless of style, every beer style they're trying to, or every brewery is trying to push the boundaries of each beer style, it seems, right? So regardless of whether or not it's a sour, it's an IPA, it's a pastry, whatever, sometimes you can just get palate fatigue after one, or not even half of one. So it's
Yeah.
Wow. Go beat your children, Ash.
Are they that loud?
I think.
Sorry.
I think. I mean, I've got some friends that predominantly do south. Jesus, can't hear nothing.
What the fuck is going on? No, it's not you. I know it's not you, Ash. You're muted.
Jesus. Anyway,
Greg?
it's like
Yeah,
Red
probably
Beard was in
Greg.
here then. Jesus Christ. No, it's I've got a few friends that predominantly drink sours and Lambics and stuff, and it's like Jesus, and they go to sour Lambic beer festivals, and it's like, how do they do it? It's just, they go to Belgium like 2 or 3 times a year, and
It's just right
Fair
across the
play,
pond
but
for you, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
like,
They do
how
kick
long
your
of a
palate.
yeah,
drive?
my palate, my palate wouldn't be able to, or my stomach wouldn't be able to handle that all the time. I'd need a mixture. So,
That always kills me.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
people go to whiskeys festivals and they can sample like 20, 30 whiskeys, and like I wouldn't be able to taste anything after the first couple.
first, exactly for me, yeah, but
Yeah.
then it's down to
Oh,
palate.
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. How
Stuff
much
like
peaty whiskey would you want to drink in one night, kind of thing?
Well, exactly. You drink one, you're tasting it for the rest of the evening.
It's good. I mean, I love a good smoky whiskey, but it's just like sours. I wouldn't want to drink sours all night, or IPAs. I could probably drink a lot of.
I've got
Right,
IPA fatigue from this whole COVID thing. I've drank way too many IPAs.
Ashley says, "Cycle me out while I yell at my kids." Okay.
Yeah, they should. They're being very loud.
All right, so we got 6 viewers right now. If anybody wants to drop a comment in the chat, go right ahead. We actually do interact with our crowd here, contrary to popular belief. Once in a while, we'll read them at the end of the show while we're offline. All right, so we might as well get back into. Anybody ready to go with their, except for Greg,
Sure.
ready to go with their Actually, Ashley's the one ready to go.
Why would I not be ready?
There is it right there.
Greg's always
You're
ready.
The perfect hedonist.
Are we
Always
doing
ready to
style
go.
and are we doing style and overall enjoyment
Yeah.
for our own beers?
Style and overall, yeah, but we're not adding the scores up at the end.
All right, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Alrighty, so let's go over to Chris and say, what'd you think of this beer?
I wish that I would have bought as many as Joe did when he picked this up. I'm not a huge sour fan, but this isn't a sour to where it's puckering. It's not even really that tart. There's a slight tartness on it, but it is probably one of the best, spoiler alert, probably one of the best fruited sours or Flanders Reds or ale or whatever you want to call it that I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm not a big, obviously everyone knows I'm not a huge sour fan, but this one for some reason has such good flavor on it. I'm definitely going to be picking this. If this is going to be sitting at under $9 a bottle of a 750 milliliter bottle, every day I'm buying this. Like I will buy for the season when this comes out. When I see it, I'm going to pick up probably 6 of them. I mean, it's definitely worth it. Picking up a 6-pack of this. Craig was laughing because I'm like, he's like talking about sharing beers. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't share this one. I tried sharing it while you guys were all talking about your beers. I went downstairs and gave each one of the girls down there a sip of the beer, and they were like, "This is gross." I'm like, "Great, so I won't have to share it. It's perfect because I love this thing." For the style on this one, it's perfect for the fruited sour style of this beer. Nick, if I find this one, I'm going to send you one out. Okay, if I find another one of these,
yes,
you're gonna love this. I think out of all the people in here to appreciate this one, you're gonna be like, this is just fucking perfect. This is a perfect fruited sour or Flanders Red, whatever you want to call it. So for the style, I'm giving this one a 9.5.
Oh wow!
For the style, it is as good as it's going to be for me for the style, in my impression of the style. Anyway, it starts off sweet and it gets you a little bit in the back of the palate with that tartness of the berries. All the berries are in there. You can pull out all the berries. You got the raspberries, the cherries. You're getting. I'm even picking up a little bit of a strawberry hint in this one, and it's unbelievable.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's held up perfect for as long as I've had it in the fridge. I mean, you guys were talking about it would probably age pretty good. You know what? There's no doubt. There's no doubt that this is going to age fine next time I buy it. Yeah. So my own personal opinion and my own personal preference on this one, overall impression, 9.5 again. So it's 9.5, 9.5 on this one. This is
nice.
I have never had this before, and now I kind of wish I did have this one before, and now I know I'm going to be buying it and having it a lot more.
Yeah, see if you can find more of that shit. This sounds really, really good.
Oh, this is just, this is probably the best sour I've ever had.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jealous, man. All right, so let's, and by the way, Greg, yes, I was making grunting noises during Chris's talking because I know you can hear me and not Chris.
I can't hear a word Chris says, so it's really weird. I can just hear other people breathing. So I literally have no clue what Chris just said for the last little while. But
he liked it.
That's StreamYard for you. It's got all these fun bugs. I'm assuming Chris is just talking about the threesome he's having under the camera. That's...
All right. Speaking of Greg,
yeah.
let's go over to Greg and see the hedonist himself.
Let's enjoy some hedonism. So I have cracked open all 3 hedonism, and they're all 7% beers. So it's a downhill from here, right? I'm afraid.
Koovy can't hear me.
So again, to recap, we got the raspberry, we got the passion fruit, and we got the mango. Now, I'll be the first to say I normally hate sours. You give me a beer that's just a sour, it's usually trash. Even the best ones are normally trash. There have been a few I like here and there. These may be the best sours I've ever had. But like, I'm struggling. I'd have to look through my Untappd to see if there's anything even close to these. Okay, so I'm going to say first of all, raspberry, passion fruit, mango. They taste exactly as they claim. They all taste like the fruit they claim. This is the thing that frustrates me so much about fruit beers in general. They often do not taste what they claim to be. These taste perfectly on par. Secondly, they're balanced. They are all. See, I'd almost go to say that they're tart beers, although I know it's not a style. Because the sour's there, but it's well hidden. The fruit really kind of gives it a lot of flavor. And the sour's just there a little bit just to let you know, hey, this is a sour. This is a tart beer. It's kind of like eating a raspberry, a blackberry. Like it's tart, but it's balanced, and it doesn't overly kill your palate. Like the fact that I can drink 3 of these and sample them and actually taste them is something, because normally I'd have one and I just wouldn't be able to taste a single thing. So it's the mango one. So good. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, and they're not even badly priced. I mean, granted, they're small cans. They're $4 each, so they're not cheap when you take the volume into account. But you know, some of these sours from breweries I see coming out to $15-20 a bottle. Like, they're pretty nuts. Now, also as an extra excitement, I think it was Chris that said it, but if not, wherever credit's due. This is a cuvee of the 3 that I've not yet drank.
Oh God, it's like a fruit salad cuvee.
Yeah, the cuvee is not so good. It kind of messes with the flavors quite a bit. So Nick's not adding this up, so this is going to be complicated, but it doesn't matter because nobody has to do the math.
Yeah,
so
whatever. I ain't doing shit.
I'm going to rate all 3 of them. Style, all 3 of them are 10 out of 10, bar none. I can't fault them at all. For the sour style, I mean, if you're a real sour guy, you probably would think this isn't sour enough, but I don't give a shit about your opinion. Very tasty, nice tart strawberry. Sorry, raspberry. Yeah, no, this is great. 8.5 out of 10. Then we got the passion fruit. Again, nothing exciting about the tasting notes. It tastes like passion fruit. Again, 8.5 out of 10. And mango, my favorite of the 3. This is my favorite because this one actually, the other ones are already kind of tartish fruits. I'm not super familiar with passion fruit. It's been a while since I've had one, but they kind of like the fruit kind of lends the tartness, whereas I feel this one, the mango, the sweetness actually combats the tartness a little bit and makes for a slightly more balanced beer. This is my favorite of the 3, and it is getting a 9 out of 10, which is pretty good for a sour for me because I just can't imagine giving a sour any higher than this. And the cuvee gets a the cuvee is like a 7.5. It's still okay, but it's definitely not as good as the individual beers. So there we go. Very impressive. I will actually be keeping my eye out because I love their Imperial Stout. I'll probably be ordering more of that. And I'll want to get more variations of this because this is freaking awesome. And these guys actually do, I think they do some expensive bottles of sours, although I'm still not keen to spend $15 to $20 on a single bottle. But maybe rich people want to do that, like you were. You can do it. It's like a Cantillon.
Cantillon? For you.
Biggies up.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Moving on up. All right, so let's take Greg out and put Ashley back in.
Hey.
And now that he's finished yelling at his kids, your beer. What's your final thoughts on your beer?
So, first off, this pours and looks exactly like a sour. 0 head, straw. It's got a little bit of haze to it. And it's funny because in my mind when I bought it, it was like blood orange. I was thinking it was going to have like this crazy color, but then, blood oranges, it's not like their juice is red or anything like that. It's actually a little bit closer to orange juice, maybe a little bit darker. So I'm not terribly surprised by the color. It's sort of fits the part. Aroma doesn't really have a whole lot on it. You get a little bit of that aroma that reminds or that tells you that you're going to be drinking something that's going to be tart or sour. It's got like that. I don't know what it is or how to describe it, but it's like you can smell it and it's going to be a sour right off the bat. And then there's like sort of like a underlying sweetness to it with a little bit of some bready malts to it. The sip, it's definitely more on the tart side than it is sour, which is nice, especially when I'm looking at a crowler of this. Now I'm actually gonna pour the rest of that for my wife, but because you guys were saying it's like a whole crowler full of this would be like palate fatigue, but because it's more on the tart than like crazy sour side, it's not killing me or anything like that. I'm going to be able to drink 3/4 of this quite happily and move on to my next beer. And the fact that it's only 3.5% is fantastic. But what I really like about this is that the orange is there. It's a little bit faint. I would have liked the orange to be a little bit more of a presence, I guess, more impactful. It is there. It lingers a little bit. But what I like is that it gives away to like a breadiness on the back end that sometimes sours can leave behind because they're so sour or they're so acidic that you actually lose the fact that you're drinking a beer and you don't get any sort of malt characteristics from it whatsoever. So I appreciate the fact that this is just tart, not sour. And at the end, after like the tartness and the little bit of orange sort of fades away, you get a little reminder of like a bready body to it, like a little bit of a white bread or crust or whatever, toast. That this is a beer. There's a malt presence to it. It dries it out nicely, and it's not going to cause palate fatigue. So I'm thinking that this is a cattle sour and not soured by lactobacillus. I've sent Dave an email to find out, and hopefully he responds back. I can't imagine he's doing anything else right now. So overall, very nice beer. Again, this Cayman Kettle Blood Orange Sour. I'm going to give this. I'm going to give so for the style. I'm actually I'm going to give it an 8, but for personal preference, I'm going to give this an 8.75 only because this is the way I like my sours. It's not like a half and done. It drinks a little bit easier. It's lower in ABV. I just wish this was a little bit more impactful with the orange, but fuck, we're just splitting hairs. So there we go. Solid beer.
Nice.
Yeah, I think like blood orange is usually like a kind of a reddish orange or a brownish orange.
Well, the flesh is, but the juice isn't so much.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, like the juice. Yeah, blood orange is like orange on the outside, like the actual fruit's like orange on the outside and red on the inside.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move along to Mr. Craig. And what do you think of your beer?
I mean, when I first opened it, it was just more bang in your face raspberry hit. Not a lot else. It was more back then. It was more like a raspberry kind of boiled sweet, stroke tart rather than sour, which was okay. But then I was looking for that kind of any of that barrel aging red wine barrel kind of esters to try and come through, into the beer. And I wasn't getting first. As the beer's warmed up, and then obviously there's a little bit more of the yeast that's imparted into the beer. So it's not clear anymore. It's taken on an aspect of you're getting the same kind of raspberry up front, but it's a little bit more kind of calmed down slightly. But there is a dryness coming through, like maybe like raspberry skin, that kind of that dryness you can get, and there is some kind of red wine ester or something coming through. I mean, you can age this beer as well. I mean, if you aged it, I'm sure the raspberry would drop off a little bit, and that might allow more of that kind of red wine barrel thing to creep into the overall flavour. Maybe bring it a little bit more balanced. Still very good though, of course, but it's got a best before 27th of the 11th, 2024. So be interesting to see how that aged. Just to
Oh, that would probably age fantastically.
Yeah, the red wine barrel and the raspberry will drop off a little bit, which you would expect being the fruited sour. But yeah, overall, I mean, I've had better, I've had a hell of a lot worse as well. So it's kind of it's decent, and then for the price point and everything else kind of thrown in there, yeah, it's a decent one. In terms of rating, then for me, I'm giving this 3.75 for style and personal enjoyment. So yeah, decent beer, 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. I'll buy it again.
The Nick scores.
Ooh,
I'll buy it again. It's a fantastic beer for the garden out in the sunshine. Really, it's one of them sort of beers. If you're potting around doing quarantine in the garden or whatever, then yeah, cracking. Nice.
There you go.
All right. So let's go over to the bitter PK.
The bitter PK.
How's that Twin Sails?
Well, it's going down quite nicely. I'm enjoying it.
Quite nicely. The glass is almost full.
I know. Well, I've also been pouring the rest of it into here, so.
I'll say it again. The glass is almost full.
Yeah. So, as someone who doesn't like sours, it's actually a really nice sour. You do have that fruit flavor come through. It's got a good sort of thickness to it. The bitterness on there, I can feel it in the back of my throat, like you usually do with like a lemonade or anything else like that. It sort of starts sticking in the back of the throat a little bit. Overall, would I buy it again? Probably not, because I'm not a sour fan. Do I enjoy it? It's good for what it is. I think that other people who really like sours would really enjoy this a lot better than I would. For an overall score, it is still up there. It would be a nice solid 8 out of 10 for the style, the taste, and for the consistency of what a sour would and is truly. So that's pretty much what mine in a nutshell. And I will be drinking this casually or something.
So would you give that for personal preference? Would you give that an 8 out of 10 for personal preference as well, as opposed to style?
Personal preference, I would drop it down to about a 6. It does have the fruit flavors that I like and stuff like that. So the adjuncts in there are really nice.
The junks in the trunks.
But personal preference, I can't stand the bitterness at the end. It just gives me too much heartburn, gives me too much other stuff. But the flavor overall, yeah, okay. If it was just like no fruits in there, the score would be lower for personal preference.
There you go.
Very nice.
Cool story, bro.
Tell the other one. It's got bells on it.
All right, so let's go with D. Oh, your glass is still full too. What the hell?
It started off as sour urine, then turned to sour lemons, then that's all. And yeah, it's really sour. Like personal preference, sure. 7 out of 10. Style, 7 out of 10. Heartburn, 7 out of 10.
Chance of taking it Tom's tonight, 10 out of 10.
Heartburn scale.
On the heartburn scale.
The heartburn, and that's one thing I get. That's one thing I get afraid about with sours. It's either you got to drink them cold to make them go down a lot easier, but if they get warmed up and they're sour, then it's harder to drink a sour. And he's done.
And Greg, the only thing Greg heard there was just chugging and grunting because you can't hear what Chris is saying.
My shirt's wet now.
Which is better than your pants.
Wet?
Oh god!
I'm not wearing pants.
Jesus,
better
All
than
right.
your chair.
Let's go back over to me for a second here, and so my thoughts on my beer that I brought with me. I had some shit written down here. I had to write my flavor notes down. All right, so the aroma had this kind of a lollipop candy sweet aroma with some cheesy funk. Of course, cherries in the aroma as well, but it does come across as like a lollipop or like a cherry candy. Somebody leave?
Yeah, Dan had to go.
Oh shit. All right, you probably go for supper. Doesn't matter.
No, he got a call from work. He's okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
So high tea is important. Anyway, so the flavor, loads of cherries, the lovely amount of tartness to it. It's candy sugar sweet, but it's not cloying. Like I've had some other lambics, like cherry lambics, that kind of tasted more like fruit sodas kind of thing, where they had so much sugar in them. But this one here is just the right balance of tartness, cherries, and a little bit of sugar added to make this a very enjoyable beer. It's not intensely sour, but it's very easy drinking. But there is this nice very tart tannic finish in the back. It's very crisp, very enjoyable. Touch briny maybe, but it's definitely drying out the back of your mouth as it goes down. I love this. This has got to be my favorite now of the whole Lindemans lineup, the Lindemans Lambic lineup. I mean, if I was to compare this, like, if you want a true lambic from Lindemans, you got to go with the old goose. It's kind of a different experience in this one because it's like very, very lemony tannic. But this one here, it's got this nice balance of that along with all the fruity cherries added to it, and it's just a super easy enjoy. If you want something that's like a Belgian beer that's a little tart, sour, it's the closest thing you can possibly get to a fruit juice cooler. This stuff, and this is like compared to some other like fruity beer cooler kind of drinks. This is a whole quality notch above the rest. This is just a phenomenal creek, to be honest. This is very tasty, and I do really like it. And Chris is the liquid fart fest right there.
I'm not opening it. I was just teasing it.
Damn it. All right. So my personal thoughts are for a creek. I kind of feel like the creek style really should be a little less sweet, but I think here it works. But I'm gonna knock a point off of it because I feel like, did you really have to add that much sugar to this? So 8.5 for the style of at a creek, but when it comes to active personal enjoyment, I'm gonna give this a 9. I really, really like this.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I can bring Greg in. I wanted to add that I pulled my beer out of the fridge about 45 minutes before we started this. And what I was saying before about having sours that are colder or easier to drink, this one is sitting at room temperature now, and it's just as easy to drink as it was the first sip I took on this one. This one is going down just so well. So who wants to pick somebody else's beers? Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, let's go over to Chris and let him pick. Well, of all the beers that somebody else has had tonight, which one did you pick?
Yours, Nick.
Really?
I think I would want to try your lambic because I haven't had a lot of lambics in my illustrious beer tubing career. So with that being said, I would like to try what yours is like, because if it's as sweet as you say it is with the sugar, I'll probably dig it more than just a regular sour. So my choice is your lambic. What's that called?
It's Lindemans Creek.
There you go, Lindemans Creek.
Yeah, I mean, next time you're allowed to cross the border, look for it.
I will.
All right.
Sure.
All right. So, all right. So let's go over to Ash. Or sorry, Ashley's green liquid, which is Greg.
I know we look the exact same to you, Nick. All us white people.
Jesus.
Shut up, Greg. Jesus. All right. What of all the beers, what one would you pick?
Well, as usual, I haven't been truly paying attention. Frankly, I don't even know what Chris is drinking because I can't hear him.
He's got the Rodenbach Character Rouge.
Oh, yeah. I think I've had that at some point. I don't remember what I thought of it. I don't know. Whatever you're drinking, you sound pretty gushing about it, so I'm going to say whatever you're drinking.
Oh, God. The Lindemans Creek Lambic.
Yeah, that sounds good to try. Why not?
It's only 3.5% ABV.
Frankly, what I want to drink is another version of hedonism. I need more of these things. These are delicious.
Okay. So, in other words, you're just saying you'd rather drink more of what you're drinking now.
Yes.
That's not a surprise.
Yes, I'm taking my own beer. Fuck you guys.
As usual, I feel like I'm the best. My beer is the hugest.
Huge.
It's the best.
Huge.
All right, so let's go over to Ash and say, which one of all the beers tonight, which would you like to have?
I don't know.
I don't know. You're yelling at your kids so much you didn't catch what everybody else is drinking.
No, actually, it was a tie because, okay, so I know I can get what Greg has. I've had what Chris has. I've had what Guy has, and I never want to have it again because the bullshit style and fucking sour IPAs are garbage. They make no sense. And so it was a toss between you and Craig.
Yeah.
So I'll just say both of your beers.
Okay.
There we go.
Cop an answer.
That's not a cop-out.
I'm kidding.
I want the beers I can't or I've never had. So.
Huh. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go over to
and then fuck Dan's fruited sour. Like
the one he wasn't even.
It actually looked like jam. I was waiting for him to say it tastes like jam.
It looked good. The one Dan had.
It looks fantastic. I just wonder if it was like as pulpy and slushy as it looked like. Because it looked like a 450 North slushy. You know, like one of those.
Yeah, I want to know the body on that one. It would have been nice.
It didn't look like there was like shit sticking to the side of the glass. Like you're like those 450 North slushies. They're just like it's just like a fucking fruit pulp with beer. Those are the most bullshit beers. We gotta get fucking Dead Joe on here. I gotta.
All right, so let's move over to Greg and see what he thinks. What of all the beers you heard tonight? Which one would you rather
have? Again, it's more of a between Ashley's and Greg's free beers. If someone who doesn't like sours that like them, I'm more curious about that, just to see why, kind of thing. Yeah, that and the Cayman Kettle. What was it? What was the
blood orange sour?
No,
the Cayman Kettle sour.
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting as well, just to see. Because I've had Valencia orange sour before, quite a few years ago from Cloudwater when they were doing bottles. So it's going back quite a few years, and that was fantastic. And that was really, it wasn't blood orange, but it's just straight up. So that was really good. So I'm like, yeah, probably it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, 3 beers, maybe the blood orange sour, and maybe the mango one that Greg had, maybe. They sound really good. Plus, obviously, you can't get them here, so it's another reason. So
exactly.
Nice. Good story. All right. Let's go over to Guy. Guy, of all the beers that you heard here tonight, which would you rather have?
I've had the Rickard's Red one. That one's pretty good. But curiosity, I'll try Greg's fruity shit.
Rickard's Red.
The Rickard's Red? Oh, yeah, because the Rodenbach logo looks like a Rickard's logo.
I thought it was a Rickard's beard for sure.
It's Rodenbach.
I'm going to keep calling Rickard's Red.
Barrel-aged Rickards.
Can you imagine?
Surprisingly, they get sued for that shit, but yeah.
Ricketts beard, yeah.
Well, I imagine Rodenbach's been around a lot longer than Rickard's has. Of course, they haven't been using that logo for that long.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. All right. Let's go over to me. Yeah. Sapporo. So, of all the beers that I've heard here tonight, which would I rather have? Well, I would say probably Chris's. That's the one that really piques my interest the most. I kind of wish that I'm not sure if I saw one in Ontario last year when I was up there. I think I only went to 1 or 2 LCBOs, and I didn't.
You know why? You know why you did last time we were here? Because you came up with Joe, and we all went to the liquor. We all went to the LCBO, and he picked up 4 of these, and you didn't pick one up.
Which LCBO did we go to?
No, didn't you get his dad to buy them?
I remember him buying a bunch of them.
This was the I think this was the Portage Road one in Niagara Falls. One over beside the Sobeys, if you remember that, Nick. That's the one we went to pick up because that was the only place that had these Rodenbachs.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember when I was there because I was in Ridgeway most of the time last year. Unless you're thinking 2 years ago. Okay, on the year at your place.
Now I don't even know anymore. Whatever.
Yeah. All right. But
if I find this, Nick, I'll send you one if I find one of these.
Cool. All right. The other one I wanted to mention though is like an honorable mention because it also piques my interest and I would really like to try this. And this is probably maybe a little bit more attainable. The ones that Greg's has, those actually sounded quite good. Like especially like the passion fruit one. What was there? There was
Join my
like a
hedonism lifestyle.
Yeah, right. Stick your dick in everything. What was it? It was like there was the strawberry, which sent an enemy.
No, raspberry, passion fruit. No, the raspberry was actually very good. The passion fruit was probably, if I were to rate them, I gave the passion fruit and raspberry the same rating, but it would be raspberry would be the least good, still very good. Passion fruit and then mango just really does
Okay,
it for
it
me.
was a
Mango
mango.
just adds a little bit of sweetness.
But
Okay.
You did rate them. Now we're gonna have to go back after this post and see
if you're
your
lying to us.
original scores match up with these scores.
No, I rated them, but I gave an 8.5 to both the raspberry and the passion fruit because to me they're pretty similar. Like if I wanted to be anal, maybe I could go 8.5, 8.7, 5.9, but I felt the other two were similar. But to me, the mango is just a little bit above the other two.
I tried them all, but the ones that piqued my interest the most is especially the passion fruit. When you describe them as tasting pretty much just like fruit drink, I'm like, hey, that actually sounds like a real good sour.
Yeah, well, that's what I like because I have so many issues with beer. The biggest offender is strawberry beer. I've never tasted a strawberry beer that tastes like strawberry. Blueberry beer actually too. I usually don't get blueberry that tastes like blueberry. But yeah, these are like, hey, this is what you say on the can. This is what it actually tastes like. I like that. And I mean, I've done zero research on this beer, so I don't even know if they use rib. Maybe they're just using artificial flavors to make it taste like that. I don't know, but
I don't know.
Nick, just to give you a little heads up.
What?
At the LCBO right now,
No,
there's still
good.
40. There are 48 Rodenbach the Rouge
Really?
floating around.
After that long, it's still 48.
There's 17 of them in Toronto Central. I don't know if that's close to Greg. And then we're going into Kingston, Peterborough, Richmond Hill, and Sudbury.
I see. Sudbury. Redbeard could get one.
Redbeard, there's only 3 there, though, so he might be able to pay. And they're only $8.90 for.
Yeah, he won't get it. He
That's
got paid
a
for
really good price.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go pan back out.
Pay for them.
There we go. We're back to the main panel.
Jeez, Craig.
And Dan's gone, so there's no fighting over spots. Wow, that was a long BYOBA 101. We've gone for almost an hour now, and still nobody's asked the magic question.
Because no one's watching it.
Well, there's 6 people watching. There's 6 people not saying anything. Thanks for watching, by the way.
And there's 6 people on the panel.
There's 6 people on the panel. Everybody's watching in the background. No.
But there's only 4 thumbs up, so clearly someone's not liking what they're doing.
Well,
You're like silent stalkers.
they're silently judging us in the background, and they're going to hit dislike on the way out.
Greg, I got a question for you. This is a little bit off topic because somebody just dropped a question for me on my Facebook page. And it says this. Hey, Chris, sorry to reach out cold with a strange beer question, but I was wondering if you or Joe from the Beer Patrol, likely the 2 guys who have sampled more American craft beers than most of the other guys in Macro Stars group, is there a current Ontario craft beer that comes even close to a comparable to what Russian River's Pliny the Elder or younger tastes like? Sounds like the hardest beer question I can get anyway. So they're looking for the most piney or Pliny or whatever in Ontario.
I've had Pliny the Elder.
Oh, okay. And what
So
would you say is the
that's
closest beer in
comparable
Ontario to it?
Ontario?
No, not even.
I've had Heady Topper before.
Shaitan Boys IPA is very pine forward.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
nowhere
Quebec.
Which one?
I've had
Saint Amboise IPA.
both Pliny and Heady Topper.
Now I've never had Pliny the Younger. I mean, that one's like people are just going crazy on that one. But
They bottled it this year for the first time, didn't they? So,
but what I do remember from Pliny the Elder is that there was a softness to the water. There was like this minerality. There was like the water treatment that they did was absolutely fantastic. Whether or not it's just well water or whatever they do to their water is absolutely fantastic. It just comes forward, like when you sip it and you're like, yeah, there's the malt's there, the bitterness is there, the West Coast IPA is there, but there's that extra tangible that you just can't really account for. Like it's hard to distinguish, but Yeah, I don't think there's anyone in Ontario per se, unless there's like just I mean, here's the deal though. I mean, all of our craft breweries, they're just doing one-offs all the time. Like, who's to say that there wasn't a beer that was exactly the same at some point in time? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that is commercially available on a large scale to us, the LCBO. No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'll let them know.
But I don't even know like Pliny the Elder. It's distributed, but you can't go anywhere in the States and get it.
No.
So
Yeah, like basically it's luck. I had somebody bring me back one from San Francisco, I think, or San Diego, on too. But that was years ago. It was like 7 years ago I had that.
now, heady topper would be cool to actually have one from the can and then have one poured into a glass to see if it tastes any different. Because they say to drink it from the can, but that was because they've been doing it.
Doesn't it say like don't be a D-bag, drink it from the can right on the side?
It was before the New England Haze thing, and that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
14, 15 years ago. Obviously, beer's changed a tad since then.
Oh, well, the style. I think right now they call, like Heady Topper kind of gets classified as like a Vermont IPA. I think.
Yeah.
But that used to be what we used to call a New England style IPA was Heady Topper. Back before the Haze bombs came out.
Yeah, Crush is better than Heady for me, anyway. But I've only had them two. That was 3-4 years ago at a beer festival over here. So it's crazy. But one of the OGs.
Yeah.
Actually, the brewery. I'll talk about it later. All right, so since nobody's asked the magic question, I guess we're just going to have to answer it. And I'm going to bring somebody.
What's next week's beer, Nick?
Oh, what was that, Greg?
What's next week's beer?
I think it's somebody's birthday next week, isn't it?
Oh, mine. I'm turning an year older. I'm not any more mature though.
I know. We still like you anyway.
Well, we know that.
You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with the love thing. All right, so in honor of Greg's birthday, we're gonna do another one of those BYOB things, but this time we're gonna do beers that remind us of Greg. That's the theme. So it could be expensive barrel-aged imperial stouts.
Yeah.
Or it could be shitty Polish lagers.
Also, yeah, because why not?
Or
Chris,
just any
double Tempest, please. Oh, he can't even hear me.
Just
he can't even hear me.
You can't. Chris wants you to send him a double Tempest ASAP.
I couldn't hear Chris say that, so unfortunately I can't put it in that order. Also, who's going to be the clever motherfucker that brings the Corona beer? Come on, I know
that's
one
allowed too.
Do it.
The whole general theme is beers that remind you of Greg.
Am I a
Canadian? Everybody's going to bring Canadian.
My brain
Corona.
About it.
Everybody's going to bring Corona.
MGD.
You got to drink MGD because fuck Greg.
Yep.
All right,
Hey.
so whatever goes.
Hey, someone's got to fuck Greg, so it may as well be you.
Steam whistle. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
See,
Or cool beer. Who's got cool beer?
listen, if any of you can get cool beer, I'll be very impressed.
What's that?
Oh, there
Yellow
you go,
Belly?
Yellow Belly. There you go.
Or something from GLB. Anyway.
That'd be the perfect beer from Greg.
Wow.
So basically, like, I'm just allowing you guys to have,
it's an open license to fuck with Greg.
Based on my suggestion to just let your creative juices flow.
It's all about the juices, right, Greg?
Always. You don't want it dry.
All right. So let's.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. We've been going on for over an hour. Let's cut this thing, and I want to thank the 5 viewers that we have going on right now for watching. Thanks for lasting this long, and also thank you, Craig. Thank you. Lasting all night long, baby. Hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so thank you, Craig, for coming on. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for Ash. Thanks, Guy, for coming in, even though you hid in the background most of the time. That's mainly because we had too many.
That's what I do.
Yeah, he just hide in the corner and jank.
Thank you. Check it all out.
All right. So, and of course, thanks, Dan, for coming in, even though he can't hear us right now. And we're going to come back online in a bit with an after chat. So we'll talk to you folks in a bit.
Cheers.
Pain